Good morning, everybody. It is a freezing day. I know a lot of people are probably gonna laugh at me because it's like 50 something degrees. But for Florida, it is freezing right now, and I'm in the garage about to do some picking and take you guys through a what sold over the weekend type of deal while I package everything, and probably just rant on about a bunch of stuff. So we got a few packages. This is one of the things going out, one of those karate breaking boards. So I got a lot of other cool stuff, some stuff that we got over the weekend that sold within like 24 hours for some pretty good money. And yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna go get some picking done and I'll be right back. So we got everything picked now, feeling super blessed. It was a great weekend. If you don't know, my fiance Nikki and I are starting on, and just got another sale. Bless. It's been great. eBay's definitely been like picking up for me, so I'm really happy. Like I was saying, me and my fiance Nikki have just started working on starting up our Amazon store, and we've been doing it for about 2 weeks now. Sent in a few FBA shipments, and then we have a bunch of FBM like listings, and it's gotten to the point where we're having like daily sales. Nothing too crazy or anything like that, but it's still nice to kind of have that consistent daily sale. It's very motivating. So yeah, over the weekend we got 2 sales on Amazon, 2 on Poshmark, and 37 on eBay. So all of this is picked. All of this is going to be going out to wonderful buyers, and all of this is kind of the hard goods stuff. That's going to be the cool stuff, but I think the clothing will still be kind of educational. Hopefully you guys can pick on something you didn't know, or a brand that you didn't know, maybe find a bolo or something like that. So I'm going to go through with the Amazon sales first, and yeah, let's see. So the first one is a book. It's sold, well, they're both books. It's sold for about $5, I think. Nothing too crazy, but like I said, it's just nice to have a consistent sales. And what we're doing right now with Amazon is we are, when we source something, we put it up. So we're only doing 1 FBA shipment a week, basically, and if that. So we source something and then we put it as FBM. So if we source something, say on Monday, it's FBM for a week. And if it sells, great. We'll ship it out ourselves and make a little extra profit. If not, by Sunday, it gets shipped out via FBA, as long as it makes sense, obviously. So that's kind of our game plan right now, just because we do have a lot of storage, thankfully, and we're able to kind of do that. Second one was this book, How to Finish a Christian Life. I think that sold for, I think the other one sold for 12 and this one sold for like 5 and some change, plus shipping. The buyer did pay shipping, which is good because this one actually has to go all the way to Washington. For some reason, it didn't give me the option to ship it via the post office, so it has to go to UPS, which means I have to make a trip out to UPS, but that's okay because there were some in the eBay shipment that also need to go out to UPS. So yeah, so that's all at Amazon. Let's get that tied up. So yes, that's UPS, so I need to set that aside. Don't want that going in the post office bag. Next was Poshmark. Had 2 items, like I said. Can't remember how much they sold for. Actually, I can. So this one was the New Tags plain Western wear. That's the tag. It's a Walmart brand, which I'm surprised because it has like the pearl snap buttons. It's actually really nice, and this sold for $19 on Poshmark. And I love shipping Poshmark because I get to use post office supplies, and it's just easier, you know, don't have to, all the guesswork's taken out of it. So I would love if Poshmark picked up a little bit more, but again, just super grateful for the sales that I do get on there. Love shipping their stuff out for sure. It's a breeze. Minus the downloading the labels. I still haven't gotten a good workflow for that yet. Kind of have to go into each sale, download the label, print it out, write the SKU on the back. I don't know if there's an easier way, please let me know. I've tried just downloading all the labels, having it sent to the email, but then there's no like sort of pick list. So I have to go back in the app, see who it's actually shipping to. And it's weird because like the username is off and stuff like that. And I don't want to make a mistake. So I just do it one by one. This is my only gripe. And then the other Poshmark one was Express Studio Design, just a mini skirt. It's really nice. It's new without tags, so it's an easy one. And just as I said that, I ran out of Tyvek envelopes. Shoot. Okay. I usually use Tyvek for Poshmark just because you can get a lot from the post office all at once, and they're pretty big. I'll just use a padded one for now because I have another Tyvek shipment coming. So hopefully that'll be here hopefully it'll be here today. Honestly, that'd be great. And that one sold for, I think that was only like 10 bucks. But you know, 10 bucks is 10 bucks. Okay, so now onto eBay. Got a nice stack of shipping labels coming to a town near you. So this was a Gap cashmere blend sweater. This I was surprised, I guess because it's cashmere blend, but it took a little while to sell. I think maybe a month or two. And I have it by the orders going by SKU. So what you see first versus like the last is gonna be older items versus newerly listed items. So this one I think was up for about a month, but it is winter, so not surprised it, you know, kind of went fairly quickly. And that sold for 20 bucks. So I was really happy about that. You don't typically think about picking up Gap, but again, I think it's mostly because it was cashmere. So, and then this one I was also surprised as well. I don't even remember listing this for this much, but it's a Columbia fleece vest, perfect condition. Honestly should have put it as new without tags because it doesn't even look like it's been worn, but that sold for $18. I mean, I would have thought maybe 10 bucks, but hey, that one also took about a month, a little less than a month probably. So I'm happy with that flip. Thankfully, we've been kind of trying to move towards more hard goods, like higher end. You know, you'll see them when I get to the hard goods. There's some pretty cool stuff, and it's starting to work, getting a higher ASP. But that also means that the clothing sales are starting to slow down. And as you can see, I have a lot of clothes, so I got to figure out a plan on how to move that a lot quicker. So this is just a regular Polo Ralph Lauren skinny polo for women that sold for $12.83. And this was a, you know, thrift store pickup. Probably paid $1, if that. Can't remember. I haven't been to the bins in a long time. We just moved out and we're more in the countryside, so it's a lot more quiet, but it also means that there are no, you know, coming from Orlando, we had 2 bin locations there. So I haven't been to the bin in 2 months, maybe 2-3 months. But it's pretty good because, you know, the sourcing has been great out here. I'm not even gonna lie, but I think that was a bins pickup. Not sure. Long story short. Next was some LL Bean convertible zip-off pants. It's a good keyword if you get something like that, and they always sell. These only went for 10 bucks, which is a little bit surprising because they're, you know, perfect, but that's all right. They, you know, after something's been sitting for so long, I kind of just want to move it. Not trying not to be in the storage business, but you know, the amount of clothes, I do 20 items a week, or shoot, 20 items a day. So after a week, that's what, 140 items. So definitely sort of in the storage game, but I like to move things. So if somebody offers me 10 bucks on something I spent $1 on, it's, you know, rather move it than hang on to it and wait and try to get all the money for it, because there's a whole nother thing to sell. So that went for 10 bucks. That one's going to Denver. This next one's just going to Clearwater, Florida, so it's got a short trip. These also went for $10. This was Nike athletic department. Everybody knows Nike, so I'll just get through that one. Yeah, I mean, shoot, some of this stuff I can't even remember where I got it, but typically I'm not paying more than $1, maybe $2 if it's, you know, Nike shorts. So still, even after fees, more than doubling my money. These are the small bread and butter, I call them cash flow items, because they sell all the time consistently and just keep the cash flow going while you're searching for a home run. That's my game plan. I'm sticking to it for now. This was another $10 item. This was just an Ann Taylor summer dress. It's a really nice dress that we picked up. Must have gotten it at a yard sale or something like that. So we're starting to get into the newer items. I can tell by the SKU number. And most of that stuff is, you know, sourcing out here has been so different. It used to be fully bins, which means I was like a full clothing seller. But out here is a lot of yard sales. There's more like actual retail thrift shops, so we've been going to those. And so we've been kind of diversifying from that. And my fiance comes and sources with me. She's getting like damn good. So she helps out and it's great. This next one, polo shirt by Polo Ralph Lauren. This actually went for $14, which is surprising. Most of my Polo Ralph Lauren's, I mean, I'll never stop selling them just because they sell and I love polo. But usually they go for like 10 bucks, but I think just because this one was like a 2X and kind of it's like a salmon pink color, probably got me that extra $4. Again, this was something that would have been picked up at a yard sale or something like that. Nothing crazy, something that everybody knows pick up. I mean, Polo Ralph Lauren is so saturated, especially when it just comes to like everyday polos and stuff like that. I'm really trying not to make a mistake talking and packaging. So excuse me if I get quiet for a second. We got Nike Pros. These went for $11. Perfect leggings, no flaws. I used to be like, okay, it's got a couple flaws, blah, blah, blah. I'll sell it, you know, even if it's $5, $5. But at this point, I'm like, if I wouldn't give it as a gift, I don't want it in my store. I guess, you know, everybody has their own way that they want to run their business, but I've kind of gotten to that point where I want to be a little bit more picky. But at the same time, I used to post 45 items a day. So I kind of just out of necessity was filling up my store with whatever, you know. And honestly, I don't recommend that. I'd rather post what I have and make sure that it's quality at this point. But both can work for sure. I mean, some people will go and buy a $5 beater t-shirt and be totally happy with it. Nicotine addictions. So we got some Adidas Tiro or Tyro joggers. These were actually mine, but your boy's been hitting leg day, so I can't wear size small anymore. So those got sold. Those went for $12.83. The boy's got good deals in his store, because I remember buying those brand new like 30-40 bucks, and yeah, they're really popular. The Tiro joggers, I call them Tiro joggers. They're like the soccer joggers with the 3 stripes on the side. You know them when you see them. They're tapered, they fit real nice. I love them. I have like one of every color just for the gym. It's great. So I was a little sad to get rid of those, but that's all right. I find them all the time. So this Columbia windbreaker jacket, this sold for 15 bucks. Columbia's just a all-around good bread and butter brand. And after that is another Columbia fleece jacket. So I'm also learning now that I've done this. Next year will be like my 3rd year of like professional reselling full time. Shoot, where am I gonna put this in? I'm learning that the seasons really do matter. Before I was like, okay, if I find a jacket in the summer, like, and it's a nice jacket, it'll still sell, right? Yes, sometimes, but also it is very seasonal. I noticed that a lot more jackets, hoodies, and everything are selling right now. And before there was a lot of board shorts that were selling. So There goes that one. Another fleece jacket and fleece vest. This one went for $14.25, which again, I'm kind of surprised, but it is in perfect condition. And I also recently started offering free returns again. We'll see if I end up regretting that, but so far it has boosted sales, I guess because you get the top rated plus badge, and haven't had too many returns, knock on wood. And even if, you know, I get a return and it's an $8 shipping label or whatever, but it means that I made 10 extra sales, then, you know, it's kind of a wash. So it's all good. Let's go into Miss Debbie. Next is another Express Design Studio. This one actually sold fairly quickly. It's just a like sweater top. I forgot what I listed it at. Knit top, stretch knit top. That sold for 10 bucks. Express is the brand kind of carries it, because we were in the retail store the other day at the mall, and oh my goodness, they charge so much, and I'm just like baffled because we find Express anytime we go to a thrift shop. Like, you don't even have to search for it. It's just, there's always Express, there's always Guess. So it kind of makes sense for people to buy secondhand, which I fully support, not only because it's how I make my money, but also it's good for the environment. So recycle, baby. Next one was a North Face t-shirt that sold for, wait for it, $11.55. North Face is definitely fallen off a little bit. I used to wear a lot of North Face, and for reasons that I won't get into, decided that it is not the brand that I want to represent. So I cleaned out my closet all in one afternoon of all the North Face I had, got it listed, and it sells still, but definitely the resale value, in my experience, has gone down from what it used to be a couple years ago. But again, could also be because it's winter. Not sure. Next is, oh, this one was a great, oh, actually that one's next. Again, another Express top. This one's just a button down. This went for $14.17. So Express is bread and butter all day. Mall brands are just great. Everybody wears them, and they charge too much at the actual store. So again, these are all things that I've gotten for $1, maybe $2. That would have been a thrift store find for sure. The only thing is, when you're picking up these, you know, bread and butter brands, they have to be perfect, because there's so many Express tops that are available on eBay. If you have a flaw, just don't pick it up. It sucks, because you know it's gonna go to a landfill, but it's not gonna sell. It's just gonna sit. So when you're picking up things like Nike, Adidas, Express, Guess, stuff like that, make sure it's perfect. At this point, if it's not, I don't even put it. I don't even list it. So this one was actually really cool. This was, oh man, it's a really big dress. It's got padded shoulders. This was Sortie for Susan Frace, vintage, made in USA sticker or tag. Just a really nice vintage dress. Nikki actually picked this one up, so shout out to her. And this sold for an astounding, I was so surprised. First I looked it up, priced it accordingly, and then I took an offer of $85.04. So keep that brand in mind. It's definitely a bolo. And this would have been $3 at our local thrift store. So that was a huge find. Like I said, she's getting good at sourcing. So I bring her along every time. Well, she kind of tags along. She used to not like thrifting at all before she met me, and now she's an addict for it. I'm like, I'm going sourcing. She's like, yep, I'm coming. I don't even ask anymore if she's coming, because I know she is. So then next up was these Nike basketball track pants. Actually has the Nike basketball thing on there. These I had them listed for 18, I think, I had this guy lowballing me back and forth. It was like $5 and I counter offered, and then he was like $6 and I counter offered, and then somebody came in, sniped him and took it for $15. So I was like, let's go. I must have sent out an offer or had like a coupon code or something. Somebody came and just paid it without, you know, any fuss. And I was like, you know, that's, a lot of people hate the lowball offers, which I used to when I first started, because you're like, how disrespectful. Like, I have this thing listed for 18 and they're just gonna come in and they're gonna try to hit me with a $5 offer. It's like, why would they do that? And I get why that might be frustrating, but you also have to understand it helps you. And I'll tell you why, because eBay says, okay, somebody's interested enough in this item to send an offer. They genuinely do want to buy it. They trust you, they think you're reputable and it's a good item. eBay's algorithm sees that and is like, well, if this person's interested in it, there's probably other people that are interested in it. And because of that, the algorithm starts, you know, serving that listing to more people. And, you know, most times, same thing is going to happen. You're going to get that lowball offer, you counter, make sure you don't decline or anything like that. Declining is kind of a death sentence. eBay's like, all right, this seller doesn't want to work with anybody. They don't want to, you know, wheel and deal. And the algorithm just doesn't like that. As I was saying, but yeah, more times than not, you're going to have somebody come in and either pay full price or send you a higher offer or something like that. So the low balls, I appreciate the low ballers. Shout out to you if you're a low baller. Thank you. It just gives your items more traffic and views and more eyeballs on it because, like I said, the algorithm, so keep them coming. I'm not going to accept them, but they're good for traffic. Sorry, that was a combo of a Jack Nicklaus polo shirt and another Ralph Lauren polo shirt. Total, they went for $15 and shipped them together. This one was actually really cool. I picked this up at the thrift store for $3. Just figured it would sell. It looks like it's never been worn, but it's a girl's Mickey Mouse jean jacket, embroidery on the back and everything. This sold, I think we picked this up on Friday and it sold by last night, so 2 days max. And that sold for $25, so $3, $25. Good flip, good flip. I think that day we had only spent like $25 anyways at that thrift store. Oh shoot, that was supposed to go in a flat rate. Sometimes that happens. And that means I just wasted a poly bag. Yay. I don't know why I put that in a flat rate, but that's what it's going in. So, Miss Zoe, you're gonna be getting this a little bit earlier than expected. You're welcome. Come back and shop some more. So yeah, that was $3 to $25 flip. Next was this Under Armour sweatshirt that sold for $14.87. This would have been $2 at the thrift store. So good, quick profit. This would have sold even faster. We must have picked this up at the same time. Everything after that Mickey thing was picked up either that day or Saturday. We didn't source on Sunday. We were beat because we went sourcing for about 8 hours on Saturday. That's how we spent our Saturday. Felt so bad because we have a newborn kitten and she was home all day by herself. So we went and got her a friend. That's that one. Next we have, yep, this one I remember picking this up. We saw the lady that works at the thrift store. She was bringing stuff in as we were like going to check out, and I was like, oh, those are dresses, let me just go check. And there was this new with tags 9 West, which I don't typically pick up, but it's floral, it's nice, and it's new with tags. So that would have been $3, and that flipped for $30 in a couple of days. So I'm very happy about that one. How am I going to, we're just gonna throw it in the poly bag like that. see what else we got. What else we got? Oh, this one was really cool. So there was this garage sale that we went to, and I have an even crazier story for one of the hard goods that we have. Not crazy, but you know, it's pretty cool. Okay, we went to this garage sale, walked up, she had a few clothes and everything, and I was like, whoa, what are you guys asking? I'll start doing videos of the actual, sorry, I got a text, of the actual like interactions that I'm having. But anyways, asked her how much she asked for clothes. She was like, oh, you know, 25 cents, $1, something like that. It was something crazy. And I was like, as I'm asking her that, I'm looking at this bad boy. It's a Winter Circle Dale Earnhardt Jr. Budweiser jacket. And I was like, 50 cents? Cool. So we got that. Nikki actually spotted a Christian Dior suit, which is vintage, so it's not that expensive. I actually have it right here. Full suit. So I haven't gotten that process yet, but I will shortly. Anyways, brought all the stuff up to her and was like, all right, you know, like, how much do I owe you? And she was like, you know what, let's just do like $5. I appreciate you stopping by. I guess I didn't have too many people. So $5. Got a bunch of stuff. This sold for $35 fairly quickly. I'm gonna throw this in a bigger poly bag. So yeah, I was shocked, and that wasn't even the win of the day, but I'll get to that once we get to that item, because that sold within 24 hours, and I didn't even mean to pick up the item. So, anyways, that's the Dale Earnhardt jacket. Picked that up for, God, it must have been like 50 cents. Normally I would have tried to wait and get all the money out of that because it is a sweet jacket, but I mean, 50 cents to $35, you really can't complain. That one's going UPS. This one I was surprised. I mean, I knew it was gonna sell pretty quickly, but this Abercrombie & Fitch muscle tee, that sold even faster within a day, and that sold for 11 bucks. This one would have been like 50 cents as well at a yard sale, so take those all day, every day. Okay, so then before we moved, we used to go to this flea market that they always have, and I was like trying to find a new niche, and I found out that, you know, shout out to the auction professor, I love his YouTube channel. He was talking about how vintage buttons, and sure enough, that same day I went to this flea market, found this guy that had a bunch of bags of vintage buttons, and I paid $8 a bag, and they just kind of slowly sell. Like, I've broken even already, but this one is a vintage Jack Kellogg, vote for Jack Kellogg button. I mean, I must have gotten like 60 pins. Ended up spending, I think, like $32. So we got, what, 4 bags or maybe 5 bags, maybe it was $40. And you know, 60 pins, all of them have been selling for like $5 to $15, and they're selling consistently, and they don't take up a lot of space, so that's my favorite part. This particular one sold for $7.28. So I mean, that's pays for the bag that it came in. Each bag had 15 or so. It was cool. They definitely don't move fast, but again, I don't mind storing them because they're literally in like a small little cardboard box on one of my shelves, and they're all in there. So they're slow movers, and it's nice when they sell. So then this next one, sorry, let me just get this package out. I'm sure if you have kids or were a 90s kid, you know about like Victory Martial Arts or ATA Martial Arts, and maybe have seen one of these, the breaking board that I had in the beginning. There was a bunch of like martial arts stuff that was left here by the previous owner, and some of it has been selling. They had like the foam nunchucks, some sparring gear and stuff, and this was one of the things that was in there. So this was free, and this sold for $26.99. And there was actually a blue board and a green board, so got another hopefully $25 coming in with the green board once that sells. Shout out to Felicia, Nikki's mom, because it was either left here by the last owners or it was hers. Actually, I do think it was hers. So shout out her if you see this and are mad at me for selling them. I owe you 25 bucks. $26.99. That is going to Miss Natalie. I hope you get some good practice out of it. I had fun with it. When I found it, I was like, I gotta punch this thing. So let's see. Next was, so we went to you're gonna start seeing some other books, some graphic novels. We went to a library. I was actually going there because I didn't have any internet, so I went to do my listings, and it turns out that they were selling a bunch of like graphic novels for like 50 cents a piece. So I was like, is there a limit on how many I can buy? She was like, no, take as many as you want. So I left. They ended up bringing out a cart for me because I was like I must have taken, I think I got like 100 books. Yeah, it was 100 books. This was one of them. They were all 50 cents each. This one sold for, and some of them, I mean, I have a couple that, some of the anime books are crazy. I have a couple that are listed for like $250 to $400. Those are obviously going to take a little bit longer to sell, but it's crazy. This one sold for $10. And we just use Scoutify to source our books, and this was before we were doing Amazon. And also Marvel, we're not ungated in yet, so stuff like Spider-Man and all that we can't list on Amazon yet, so that gets listed on eBay. And all the stuff that we're doing FBM, fulfilled by merchant, is also on eBay, so it's cross-listed. And if it gets, ooh, that's actually a good point. I do need to check that, make sure I cross-list. So yeah, that was 50 cents to 10 bucks. Love it. And also on all these, I don't offer free shipping, so just sorry if I didn't mention that before, but all of this, the buyer pays for shipping, so these are what the item itself sold for, and then they had shipping on top of that. Another crazy thing, one of the thrift shops we used to go to, and they've gone to the dark side, just like Goodwill's, are starting to charge outrageous prices. They used to get Disney's Lost and Found. They would bring just boxes of stuff that was lost and found at Disney they didn't want to deal with, and at one point they brought a ton of sunglasses, and I'm telling you, we were getting Gucci sunglasses, Versace sunglasses, Tory Burch. These are some Ralph Lauren glasses. All of them we must have paid for, like all of those glasses we must have paid max 50 cents. And we got hundreds. So at first there was like a big influx of the ones that were selling, and now it's kind of slowed down and kind of getting one here and there. Actually I say that, but there was like 3 that I'm shipping out today. And I've sold a couple that were $200-$300 depending on the brand. Those sold for $25. So now they're charging $30, $35, $40 for their sunglasses, because I guess we cleaned them out and they were like, hang on, there's something going on here. So we tend not to go to that thrift store anymore. Still love you guys, but yeah, if you don't leave any meat on the bone for us, you can't source at your place. It's just fortunately how that goes. Next was, I forgot where I got these. These were, where did I get these? These are Harley Davidson dangle earrings. And they're like rhinestones, and they're skulls. I must have paid probably 50 cents for these at a garage sale. It had to have been a garage sale. But I got like 3 pairs. They're all different designs. And yeah, so these sold for $16.85. Like I said, I couldn't have paid more than $1, if that. And they were just cool. Anytime I see Harley, I'm just a sucker for their t-shirts and stuff like that, so I always pick those up. And then next is a pair of another pair of glasses that I knew were gonna sell quick, and I actually picked up like 6 pairs of them. So when I said that they are starting to go to the dark side and they're charging an arm and a leg now for everything, I mean, some of the stuff is ridiculous. I hate bad talking thrift stores, but with all the flack that Goodwill's getting right now for raising their prices, and everyone's, you know, just hating on Goodwill, other than the bins, obviously. But even at the bins, they're starting to raise prices. It just seems with all that flack, the other thrift stores kind of would not want to follow in those footsteps, but I get it. You gotta make money, and I'm not the owner, so I don't get to make the decision on that. So all I can do is decide not to spend my money there. But anyways, last time we were there, Disney came, so we were like, well, there's gonna probably be a ton of sunglasses. We got an amazing deal last time. Turns out no, they're charging $30, $35, $40. But I did find, and I had sold these before, some Pit Vipers. I think these are sick, dude. I would never rock these myself, but definitely see the appeal, and they sell fast. These sold for, I bought these for $8. All the Pit Vipers I got for $8, and this sold for $35. Only doing this off my phone, so I just lost the storage that I had. So I'm just gonna go through some bigger finds real quick before I run out of storage again and kind of wrap this video up. There's a couple more books, a couple more sunglasses. This was the big one that I found at the yard sale. When I was checking out with that $5, the Budweiser jacket and everything, this little girl came up and was like, hey, do you want to buy this? And I was like, well, I was going to pay you guys a lot more for this clothes anyways. So I was like, sure, how much do you want? She was like, $5. I was like, okay, little girl, like I'll do, you know, I felt like I was doing her a favor. Anyways, get in the car, look this up. If it's it's like a tape measure thing. So it's a digital tape measure. Looked it up, it was going for like $150 to $200. This sold within a couple hours. I took a best offer of $170 and I paid her $5 for it. And now I feel terrible, but I also feel great. This was the accidental pickup. So definitely a bolo. If you see this, it's the Disto E7500i. I mean, I was just floored. I thought it was gonna take a little bit to sell, but I knew I was gonna get a lot for it. I just didn't know it was gonna sell that fast and for that much. So anyways, hope some of this was helpful. I'm gonna get better at probably get a GoPro or something just so that this doesn't happen again. I'm not rushed. Hopefully the long form is good and hopefully you guys learned something. But anyways, if you haven't, hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna start getting serious about this and doing some sourcing videos and stuff like that. So it should be good, should be educational. And yeah, if you like this, hit like, stick around. I'll see you in the next video.